Hi there, welcome to my channel Pixel Art. I'm Amir, and today we're gonna dive into the fascinating world of AOVs together in Maya. But what exactly are AOVs? AOVs stand for Arbitrary Output Variables, and they're an absolute game changer in the realm of 3D. Think of them as your secret sauce to add that extra level of control and finesse to your renders. Now imagine this, you've spent hours perfecting your 3D scene, tweaking lights, adding textures, and everything in between. But what if I told you there's a way to break down your final render into separate passes? That's where AOV come in. With AOVs, you can split your renders into individual elements, like diffuse, specular, reflections, and more. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to set them up in Maya, and at the end, I'll show you an example on how to use it in Photoshop. So in Maya, I have already created these three objects here, and I have assigned AI standard surface shader to each of them. Hypershade, which you can find the shader under Arnold, shader, it's right here. And I have gave them random colors. I've also created a sky dome light so I can see it in my render view. Now if you click on the render settings here, you can see the AOVs tab right here. Now if you click on it, you're gonna see all these different passes on the left side. Now these are all the different passes that make up this final render. So if you notice, it says beauty right up here. And beauty is all these different passes all put together on one final image, so we can call it beauty. Now we want to break this up. We don't just want the beauty, we want every individual element that makes up this image up, so we can break it all apart in Photoshop and other compositing softwares like Nuke, and then we can make any changes that we want. Now some of them might not work, some of them are unique to certain uses and things like that, so they might not all make sense. But the important ones that we have to look is the albedo. So if you click on it once and then click these two arrows, you can add it to active AOVs. So albedo is basically just color. It's base color without any shadow or lighting information. The next one that we're going to add is called diffuse, which is the base color with shadows. And then we're also going to add specular, which is all the reflection and specularity information from the image. Now I should see all my passes that I've added in this tab. Now I just have to re-render this again. And then you can see these passes that I've added. You can also toggle through them and see what they do. So this is albedo, just base color without any shadow or lighting information. This is diffuse, which is again the base color but with the shadow informations here. Then the specular. I'm also going to add another pass here, which is shadow. This one. You can see that it shows me the shadows here. And now I'm going to render this, but before that I'm going to change some of the settings. Change the image format to TIFFs. You can also choose PNGs or JPEG. I'm gonna go with TIFF. And for compression, it's none. And then select the camera, which is my render cam here. It's already on my render cam. And then I'm gonna choose the image size to HD 720 so I can get more quality. And then I'm going to render sequence and choose the location here and then render sequence. So this might take a while, so I just speed up the recording. Okay, so it's done. Now we go to the location. It's in images. Now the good thing is that Maya put the passes in their own folder. So this is albedo. This is my shadow matte. And here is diffuse and specular, and finally my beauty. So now I'm going to bring them into Photoshop and show you what you can do with the passes. Okay, in Photoshop I have put each passes in their own tab. So here's albedo, this is my diffuse, specular, and finally my shadow. What you're going to do now is you're going to start compiling some of these passes, and then we can make one image out of it. So I'm here, I'm gonna select this, and I'm going to copy this, go back here and paste it here. So what happened now is when I added this layer on top, it took over the layer underneath, and we don't want that. What we want is to blend these two layers together with this tab here. So I can click on normal and go down with my down arrow key on my keyboard, and I can cycle through all the different blending modes and see which one looks better. The three blending modes that I mostly use are multiply, screen, and overlay. And for this one I'm going to use overlay. So now I have albedo and diffuse here. So both of these layers are blended together. Now I'm going to add specular, the same process like before. I'm going to hit Ctrl C on my keyboard, go back here and Ctrl V to paste this. And then I'm going to blend this, see which one looks better. And then for here, overlay looks nice. So when this was rendered, it was actually inverted. So I want the black colors for the shadows here and everything else white. So to invert this image, I'm going to select this, and then I'm going to image, adjustments, then invert. There you go, now I have the shadows in black right here. Then I'm going to copy it by hitting Ctrl C on my keyboard, going back here, hitting Ctrl V to paste it, and using these blending modes. Now here comes the magic part. Say I find this image too reflective and I want to reduce the reflection by 50%. If I don't have these passes, I have to go back into Maya and do the adjustments, reduce the reflection over there, and re-render the whole thing again, and it's gonna be a pain. But now I can easily select this one, and I can, with the opacity, I can reduce this by 50%. So now it's less reflective. See how easy that was? I can also play with the slider and see how much I want this image to be reflective. And the same thing with the shadow. If I find the shadows too dark, I can just, same as before, select shadow and reduce as much as I want. It's gonna be super easy. You can also do this with diffuse and any other passes that you add in your Maya. There you have it, the magic of AOVs. Hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That's the easiest way to stay updated on the upcoming tutorials. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.